Here.
Doug Rowdy,
Here.
Jay Lou,
Here.
Jeremy Hall.
Here.
Mr. President.
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion made and approved to approve the agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Approval of the minutes from October 7th.
I'll make a motion to approve the same as presented.
Motion made and seconded to approve the minutes from October 2nd. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public comment. No public comment? Receipt of information from supervisors not seated. I don't see any. Fair Society update.
I can give you that. The grandstand metalwork has started. They should be done with work for the fall by November 21st, if not before. So that work continues. It's on schedule. And then by that time, they'll be done with the work for the fall and then come back in the spring to finish everything else. My only update.
Think they'll be about half done or 3/4 or what's
For
it?
this fall, no, they're just putting up some of the steel. So they'll have the pad done, that is done. And they'll just erect that.
So there's no seats or nothing done this fall.
No, that'll all be in the spring.
I see they're starting to set the metal now. Well, that guy poured a lot of concrete in a hurry there for that base. So I was there talking to him about the racetrack there. Speaking of the racetrack, I don't know if we considered that they're gonna have to work from four sides probably to assemble this thing. For the most part. I mean, I don't know how you build a building unless you work on all four sides. So, the fair had a concern about the loader marks that went over it, and I guess the contractor was talked to and he was gonna put a crown back on that road.
Correct.
But I think we need to look before it frees up, make sure that that track didn't get all screwed up.
Yeah, I have a weekly progress meeting and that was addressed this morning. It's every Tuesday morning. So they are aware of that and they'll be addressing that. And they look at that weekly. They're actually taking a video of the current state of it so that they can correct it as needed.
Okay, sounds good.
What kind of racetrack we got there?
Well, it's just a pulling track, you know,
Oh,
but their concern was they rutted it going over it,
yeah.
you know, setting the footings and all that, and then water sat there. And they were worried about having a soft spot in the track if water sat there all year and into the spring, so.
But it's gotta take care.
And the crane actually comes tomorrow so they can start setting a lot more and they're gonna try to stay off that track altogether.
Progress.
Okay, update from CJCC.
I can do that one. We've currently got 7 participants in our community MRT program. We've got 1 participant in our intoxicated driver intervention program. And we got 1 referral, which was actually a self-referral, which was good to see. In substance diversion, we had 1 new referral with no current participants. First time offender program, we had 3 new referrals with 1 person graduating last month, and we've got 3 signed up for our class next week. And then for treatment court, we've got 12 current participants with 3 new referrals, and we're looking at graduation just after the first of the year for the next one.
You know how many people we have in jail right now?
Overall population, 85 in the jail right now, 5 out on electronic monitoring, and 6 of those are other lodgers from a different.
So we got 6 rentals that we're gaining.
Revenue from, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Update from Public Works.
I'll give you my update before we talk about the Black Brook well. Atlas Dam and the D.D. Kennedy Bridge are set to begin work this month. I haven't received any updates from the contractors to state otherwise, but both of those projects are to kick off this month. And then the Justice Center expansion joint caulking will start any day. So those are biggest jobs that are happening currently.
Okay, well then let's discuss some possible action regarding the abandonment of the hand pump at Black Brook County Park.
I can take that one and then I'll have Jake with the health department give his assessment as well. Past few years, we've been having sample issues with the hand pump at the Black Brook County Park, getting back bad water samples. Last summer and this summer, we had Beecroft well go in and chlorinate them for us. And in that process, Beecroft said that it's not truly a well. There's a well casing there with a sand point driven through the casing, and the hand pump is attached to that. And he said every time we pull that to chlorinate, we, at some point it's going to come apart. But we've been having bad water samples with it. I did have him give us a quote for installing a proper well and hand pump. That would be $20,000. To abandon the pump, that would be $500. Continuing as is with the hand pump. We chlorinated in August and Jake and his team pulled a bad sample again this fall. So the chlorination didn't help. So I'll let Jake talk from his standpoint on the health department aspect of the well.
Sure. So the issue is that we're constantly chlorinating it, which is killing the bacteria in the well, but it doesn't take it too long, maybe 6 months, and it's right back to where it was. It's not properly sealed. And it's just going to be an ongoing problem. I actually brought a picture of, you can see the color of the water here. It's not real drinkable anyway. It's coming out yellow. Constant problems with it. It's every time we test a bad sample, it leads to additional sampling, which is more time out there, more money having to be spent by the county trying to take care of it. And to be honest, I don't know that too many people even drink from it anyway. You have to really pump at it for about 40 seconds, 45 seconds or so before you even get any water coming out at all. Most people, I think, give up by then. So we're essentially paying for this well that's contaminated. It's not super tasty. It's yellow, and I don't think people drink from it anyway. And so we're kind of just stuck in this limbo.
Yeah, so essentially this well has reached the end of its useful life. And if we wanted to continue to provide water at this location, we should install a new well. Black Brook County Park it's pretty isolated. It's not heavily used. It does get used, but I think primarily for people that are fishing on the river or the reservoir there. So I think it's staff's recommendation that we abandon the existing well. And at this time, not install a new one would be our recommendation.
Jay, you're closer to that than anybody, but I've been to Black Brook.
Well,
I don't think we need to provide a well there. We've got more
I've never
places
seen anybody down there. Of course, I haven't been down there for a while now.
we got more places for money than,
Well, I don't know, $20,000 for a well down there would be kind of a effort and futility, I think. Most people carry their own water anyway. Nowadays, drinking.
nowadays.
Yeah, we don't think it's worth the investment to put a new well in there. And it's not feasible to continue to try to operate the existing well.
So based on the information, do you think we could move to
Man,
man the well?
That's what we'd like to see.
Well, I would make that motion. It says possible action, so
Yep.
that would suffice that.
second,
Okay, motion made and second to abandon the well at Black Brook County Park. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next subject, update from highway.
County Road G2 is finally complete as far as paving and shouldering go on our end. waiting for the line striping to get done out there. It's getting in the season, so we're hoping they can get some favorable weather and get up here and stripe that. State Highway 35, as Supervisor Bonaprise mentioned, got paved on Monday. That went pretty good. It was a little touchy with traffic. It's just always a rough intersection for traffic control, but they got that done. And the state did not want the pavement markings covered up either. So we had to stay between the pavement markings, which made it a little tricky. So it was just the bare minimum patch that they would allow for the asphalt repairs there, but it did help with the rutting on the hill and smoothed it out a little bit up.
It looks good. There's a couple of different colors from the old, they didn't smooth it across. So we got on the turning lane in the old blacktop, which is pretty light, and then all of a sudden we got these two blacktop lanes on the outside. It's different. We've never seen anything like it. It survives.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll hold it together till that project comes due. Replaced a large pipe up on County Road W4. And as the weather permits, still doing spray patching and some other maintenance activities right now. A lot of winter equipment set up currently, getting ready. We've got a possibility of snow on Saturday, so we'll see if that materializes. Started our new winter hours at highway, so the highway hours are now 6:30 to 4:30 PM for the winter months. Our 2 night shift staff started for the winter season. And I submitted 3 surface transportation projects, STP project applications last week for the 26-27 biennium for 3 of our county roads. So hopefully we get a couple or all of those awarded for the county. Those would be a 80-20 project, or we'd pay the 20% of the project cost. About all I had.
Any questions or comments for Josh?
No.
Moving on to Sheriff Walk update.
Sheriff Walk apologizes. He's out at a scene right now up in Frederick taking care of some business. First thing I handed out today was the drug numbers. The blacked out areas are deputy names or municipalities listed there. So we just blacked that out. So we didn't want to, the sheriff didn't want to issue out those names. But basically we put the names in there and handed out internally to kind of, you know, get some motivation behind some people, or, you know, some teamwork, try to get them, you know, see who's high, who's low. But you can see that, you know, we obviously have still been busy this last quarter, you know, with 44 meth arrest. That's 280. I guess I don't know if it's grams or pounds there, but quite a bit of meth and marijuana still being seized. Last week we had a incident. I issued out the press release there from last week. We had a gentleman from the cities. We were assisting Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. They came out, they tracked a violent suspect into our county. We helped with surveillance. Got him leaving that night from motel in St. Croix Falls. We ended up having to do a pit maneuver on him to get him to stop. He immediately started fleeing the officers. We believed he was armed, and they did find a loaded firearm in the vehicle that he was trying to gain access to before our dog apprehended him. So got a very violent person off the road, got him, you know, came to our community. We didn't want him here. Ended up getting them. But there was some damage to one of our squad cars in the process. But
Canine's all right?
Canine's just fine, yes.
Good.
Other than that, that's about all for the sheriff's report.
When you guys are categorizing, are you tracing fentanyl in the methamphetamines? Or is it strictly just meth still?
I didn't generate this report, so I believe it's just gonna be method. The fentanyl or anything that would be found in there will be listed as a separate drug.
Separate, okay.
The only way we could really do that is by going to sending it to the prime lab to be
We
analyzed.
should do that. Do we do that or no?
I don't believe so, no.
Any other
Have we
questions?
given Narcan at all this year? You know?
We've used Narcan a couple of times for different scenarios. Anytime we suspect it might be, fentanyl or drug overdose, we use Narcan. The number of times this year is less than last year. I know the last couple of years we've had to use quite a bit. This year I can't. I know of some that we have, but it might have been medical conditions. I think one lady was just dehydrated and she was drinking all day and ended up having a cardiac event and ended up doing Narcan on her just in the event, so.
Are you and Sheriff on? Alright, have we got 2 more years on this current term?
The sheriff is done, well, the term is done January of 2027. So not this January, but the next January. So
1 year and a half,
yeah, roughly
a little less.
another good year and a month or two.
So that's gonna be a year from November, a year from now.
Year from today, yes.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments for Sheriff? Hearing none, we'll work on to the update from the administrator.
I just have two things, Mr. Chair. The sales tax was up for October. I'm still hoping to collect at least $600,000 more for the next 2 months to bring us to our budgeting number. Also, that was released for this committee was the Winter Road School is at the La Crosse Center in La Crosse, Wisconsin. So that registration is open now. If you plan on attending, we'll get that information to the clerk so you can attend that. So this year it's not at the Chula Vista, it's down at the La Crosse Center. And that's January 13th and 15th. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Any questions for the administrator? Comments? Moving on to the update then from Supervisor Rowdy with the ATV UTV Council.
I just have a few things, but Tony had sent out an email about the Sterling Loop that there was a problem with signage out there. And it came from Officer Hahn and he said it needs some corrections. Is that right? And the club has gone out and worked on that correction. So they got it done right away from the email. And it seems like a never-ending project with between the two, the county and the clubs, is that there's some culvert problems on the trails. And I guess there probably always will be, but the difference with the culverts is, and maybe Rod can explain it better, but it's actually the DNR. We do the surface and they do the culverts. So then it becomes a problem working back and forth with the DNR. Because the county ended up paying part of the project when they shouldn't have had to. I wish there was some way around that. The DNR is not easy to work with, as we know. So that's
Yeah.
really about all I have for today. It was an excellent meeting again.
Okay, any comments, questions? None? Discussion and possible action regarding the budget amendment recommendations.
Yes, Mr. Chair, this is a standing item on all the committees this month through the budget process. We do have one item regarding the fair, which is their awards. Originally was budgeted that the state was going to take care of those 100%. So we removed that money line item from the budget. It turns out, we found out late that it covers 95% of the first 8,000 and then 70% of the next 7,000. So the money needed to be put in the budget is $2,300. And if that's gonna be our only amendment to the budget, if it's all right with the committee, I'd like to do that amendment to the budget in June when we do the rollover money with that versus changing all the numbers right now for $2,300. It is recorded and noted that we will add that money to the budget, but if the committee is okay with that, I'd like to do that in June when we do that rollover resolution.
That's doable.
A lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should note that we will be in violation of our own MOU with them if we don't pay it because we agreed to pay it. So, but going into the budget, we didn't know that the state was gonna only pay a fraction of it. So a large percentage, but I mean,
Right.
you know, so,
So everybody gets first place?
yeah. Everybody gets a participation.
Do you need some action on the budget or, I mean,
If the
How much?
committee in consensus is fine with, if this is the only amendment coming to do it in June, we don't need any action. We'll just make sure it's on our,
Make sure you take care of it because I don't want to answer for it. Okay,
keep them happy?
thank you. Okay, well then we can move on to review and update of the 25 work plan, which I don't believe we anything to update on there, all budget stuff coming up anyway. And subject matters for the next meeting, I have none.
Do you want to set a record for the year for the quickest meeting?
No, too late, I think.
Corn dryer's still open, so let's go.
Move to adjourn?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. Those in favor, say aye. Aye.